So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking out time and coming to AMA for this very wonderful evening. Uh, we are extremely grateful to Ahmedabad Management Association for this collaboration that we have with the Association of Designers of India, Ahmedabad chapter. I'm Paulami Das. I'm the treasurer of ADI Ahmedabad, and I will be a host for the evening. We are here today to celebrate the life of one of our most beloved person across borders is Professor Ashoke Chatterjee. I would like to invite Shimul Vyas, the president of ADI Ahmedabad chapter, for a welcome address.
Thank you so much, Paulami. A very good evening to all of you. Our esteemed guest of honor, Shri Ashoke Chatterjee, whom we very endearingly call AC, and his family members, Keshav, Prativa, Kabir, and Elisa. Our speakers for the evening, Suranjana Satwalekar, Mahendra Patel, Pradyumna Vyas, Kartikeya Sarabhai, Ramlalji and Puranmalji from Jawaja, Rajasthan, ADI and AMA members and guests. I take pleasure in welcoming you all to Design Moments, which is an initiative by the Association of Designers of India, Ahmedabad chapter. I think I should, Paulami, do I click escape? Sorry, I didn't want to give it out. So sorry. You can just move it behind.
Yeah,
so
we have
sorry.
lots of surprises.
So sorry. So sorry about that. I take pleasure in welcoming you all to Design Moments, which is an initiative by ADI Ahmedabad, presented in collaboration with the Ahmedabad Management Association. The core idea of Design Moments is to recognize and celebrate stalwarts who have dedicated their life to the field of design and have made remarkable contributions. We at ADI believe that it is important for our young emerging generation of designers to know about the experts who have been the guiding force for the development of design in India, and equally it is important to learn about their ideology, vision, and approach in all aspects of design, be it education, practice, research, and outreach. We strongly feel that this understanding of how our design gurus looked at and shaped the context of design in an ever-changing environment would inspire the new generation of designers to pave way for the future. We started Design Moments by felicitating late Professor M.P. Ranjan in December 24, and today we have gathered to honor Professor Ashoke Chatterjee, whose career spans close to 7 decades. He has a rich professional trajectory in which he has assumed many roles and responsibilities. The spectrum ranges from being a part of a reputed global body such as the International Monetary Fund and heading India's premier design institution, the National Institute of Design, to leading the Crafts Council of India and being an advisor to the Center for Heritage Management at the Ahmedabad University. Not to forget his passionate engagement with sectors for social, economic, and cultural impact. What makes today's Design Moments truly special is that it coincides with AC's 90th birthday, which is next week. And very honestly, we, the ADI committee members who have been planning this event for many months now, have been, very, very sort of overwhelmed. We are very happy that this moment has finally arrived. And honestly, I take the liberty to say it is a goosebump moment for all of us at ADI. We have invited a distinct group of individuals who have known Professor Chatterjee closely or have worked with him in different capacities. Each one of them will be sharing their impressions, anecdotes, and experiences, giving us a captivating glimpse into the life and legacy of Ashoke Chatterjee. On a personal note, AC holds a very special place for me. I admire the dignity with which he conducts himself. Age does not seem to be a deterrent for AC. So, when most people who are much younger than him would have hung their boots at the age of 85, 86 plus, Professor Chatterjee takes up the mammoth task of writing a book on the Jawaja Project. He says he has to do this to fulfill the commitment he has made to MP Ranjan and to Vyas Satwalekar. He says he had to do this to give back to the leather artisans and textile weavers of the Jawaja block, with whom he has engaged for the past 50 years and continues to do so even today. A strong believer of making design inclusive and accessible, he has painstakingly translated the book in Hindi, and he has made sure that the Hindi version and the English version have, it's matched, it's exactly the same page to page. When I look at Professor Chatterjee beaming with enthusiasm and passion at the age of 90, it gives me a lot of optimism. It leaves me with the hope that it is possible to be productively engaged in life till as long as you want to. AC, you continue to inspire. I would like to end by expressing my gratitude to one and all who are present here today. I do see a lot of people have flown in. They've come in from outside Ahmedabad. People have come from Delhi, Surat, just to be a part of this evening today. So our sincere thanks to all of you. And we look forward to making this into a memorable evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shimul. So we start today's next part of the program. It's going to be an exciting evening. Thanks to the Chatterjee Family Archives, we have dug out some photographs we don't think many people have had the chance to see till now. And we are immensely grateful to his family, to Professor Chatterjee, because I would land up at his house every other week with lots of questions. And the evening is divided into 5 parts. So much of it is a surprise that sometimes even I forget what is happening. So the first part, we are going to focus on his early life. The second part is how he comes to NID, his association with NID. Then we are talking about the craft sector, which is connected to his life at NID through Jawaja. The rest 2 parts are a secret. Surprise for sir. So I would request the ADI Ahmedabad team to welcome Professor Chatterjee with a small token. The entire ADI Ahmedabad chapter, present team and the previous team also. Gauri, I can see you also. Juhi, I can see you somewhere. Juhi, come. You were also ADI. So the name of Professor Ashoke Chatterjee, or AC as the design community calls him, is a magic word. So when we started planning this event 4 months back, everyone agreed to be a part of it. So here we are today. Thank you all for joining us. I'll also go. Come, Harshdeep, Vasvi, come.
नहीं बैकड्रॉप
बट यही रख लेते हैं ना
फुल स्क्रीन डबल क्लिक
So thank you, everyone. We will start with the presentation. Um, Light off कर सकते हैं? You can see all of it? Okay. So Ashok Chatterjee is a name that means a lot to all of us, and there are people who are logged on to the AMA Facebook page because they could not be in India or they could not come to Ahmedabad to be part of this evening. So we have been very lucky to have whoever we spoke to agreeing to give any kind of assistance and help. Ashok Chatterjee has spoken a lot about the importance of the common man, and we should not forget not just the handloom or the handicraft artisan, but also every human being who is part of the cultural heritage web, not just of India, but for the world. So we found photographs from the collection. आप थोड़ा पीछे चले जाएंगे आपको दिखेगा. So the journey of Ashok Chatterjee from his childhood, born in Dehradun, studied at Woodstock School, and then went off to study at St. Stephen's. And then he has an engineering degree from Miami University, if I'm not mistaken. Ohio, right? I'm sorry if I make mistakes. There's too much of secret, so we couldn't ask sir if what we are saying is correct or not. And we found, has been part of, yes, very interesting photographs of Professor Chatterjee wearing suit and tie with his family. And this is a lovely photograph. Again, immense gratitude to Vasvi Parekh, who sat after office hours to work on this presentation. And we had initially thought we'll not put some photographs, but then we liked all of them, so we put everything that we could find. Moments of AC's life that we would wanted to share. And so the association of Ashok Chatterjee with NID happens in America, where the Nehru his life and times exhibition was exhibited. And that's the first time Ashok Chatterjee hears of NID. Before that, NID was still an institution in the formative years. And he did not know that in the next decade he would be actually coming down to work with NID. We found some photographs on the Eames blog and the Ranjan's blog. And the NID had planned this exhibition with Charles Ames in 1964 at NID, and this exhibition was then taken to America. NID starts, as some of us are aware, a lot of this information is also new for me, as an institution that was actually designing exhibitions, and then education starts. When NID invites Ashok Chatterjee to join, he comes to NID in 1975 as its director. He's the first person to start the graduation ceremony, what is known as the NID convocation, right? So this is 1979, where we can find Ashok Chatterjee. You can locate him. This is 1981, and if you go on the NID website, the convocation photographs are there. And this is 1985. Guess the next speaker. Suranjana. So now I invite Suranjana Satwalekar, designer, design educator, owner of Satwalekar Studio, to kindly come and share her insights when she joined NID as a student. Ashok Chatterjee was the director, and of course associations with Vyas. Thank you. I'll change.
Whatever. It's fabulous being here. So many people I haven't seen in ages. Right. So, the one thing that I've learned over, I think almost a half a century of association with AC, is that he invests in relationships like no one else I know. And remarkably, some, like his relationship with me over this period, which may have started at an unequal terms because I was a student, he was the director, but it has transitioned so seamlessly to something I dare say is akin to friendship. I'm taking courage here, AC, that I didn't even realize that when my inhibitions of talking to him, calling him, etc., disappeared, and I would say that it is entirely to his credit. In 78, when I joined NID as a student, AC was the executive director. Of course, we never called him AC. Given his position and the aura of correctness that to some degree he still carries, AC was someone best kept at arm's length. And it was primarily because there were just too many shenanigans that was best kept away from him. On the first day of our orientation program, our batch gathered in the old NID auditorium, a fantastic space now long gone, for the director's welcome address. I am sure, knowing AC subsequently, that he said many very important things about design, design education, our responsibilities to the world at large, but all that our entire batch remembers to date is that he referred to us as the cream of society. None of us can recall the context in which he said this. But the phrase really stuck. And for a completely irreverent batch like ours, unaware of the 18 months of the grind that was ahead of us, of what constitutes foundation then, thank you, it became a running joke. And we used it frequently and quite indiscriminately, sometimes as a cocky response to our very, very earnest seniors, or while bemoaning the profundity of a faculty critique. 6 months after we joined, NID hosted the UNIDO Exit event, which culminated in the Ahmedabad Declaration. We all know about that. We lost our precious auditorium to UNIDO Exit, too small for such a big event. Of course, we held AC more responsible for this loss than the Ahmedabad Declaration. No more post-lunch bliss under air conditioning, no more curated music from the library, wafting from excellent sound system. I partially forgave him only when that same shell was subsequently repurposed as our exhibition design studio. Also by then, the implications of the declaration were a little better understood. Despite the formality that demarcated AC from the rest of the faculty, Mr. Chatterjee, I heard somebody say Shri, it wasn't quite acceptable then, I don't think, was his first names, he unfailingly showed up at every single student event, even freshers' parties, and gamely joined the action instead of hovering on the sidelines. Except I can't really recall him doing Garba, and there are people here who are senior, they may remember. And who can forget the consultative forums where AC's sheer presence ensured that griping, protest, even outrage was expressed with civility. Every now and then, AC would invite the hostel committee for breakfast at his campus home. While we didn't exactly chat with him, he patiently listened to all our grievances, and some of them were really trivial. The only thing that some of us, me include, particularly dreaded was the food. It was just too healthy. And that too on a weekend. Unseasoned porridge, and not porridge, dalia, which sprouted moo. I mean, who serves that to perpetually hungry, mostly broke students? We would, of course, down it dutifully and then head straight to the gate for chai with greasy, overcooked bun omelets. In my final year, an image of AC seen through his office window made a lasting impression on me. AC writing with one hand and holding what looked like an ice pack to his head on another with the other hand. I have had migraines, so I was pretty sure that he was dealing with one while working at his desk. And that picture somehow communicated so much more about a work ethic than any lecture ever could. In 1985, AC was honored with the Misha Black Award. Before the event, he wanted the NID showroom revamped and asked the exhibition design faculty to handle it. I was a fresh graduate, freelancing to stay afloat, a bit tired of churning out a stream of disease-related traveling exhibits for WHO. As it happened, redesign of the NID showroom was one of my student projects, complete with prototypes. My guide, Pradeep Choksi, recommended that AC have a look at the work, and if he approved, I could be hired to execute it. So AC became my client. from director to client. I was told he would write the exhibit copy himself. I'm just taking one episode. A daunting prospect for an inexperienced but highly opinionated graduate. One thing I was sure of, the line, design is everything from a safety pin to a highway, much used in NID brochures at the time, had no place in this exhibit. The problem was, how do I tell the executive director come client this? And who's now going to be also writing the copy. While NID had taught me about courage of conviction, this was AC. Overthinking his possible reactions was inevitable. Could I draw upon our common Stephanian connection? Oh, that was a really weak one. Or should I keep it simple and straightforward? An exhibit designer providing a brief to a copywriter. There is inherent minor power issues there. Ultimately, in the process of some exhibit discussion, I just told AC, politely but firmly, that no safety pins or highways could feature in the copy. AC's response, a second silence, followed by that characteristic AC short laugh. You're the designer. I'm sure you have good reason. What a client. Something changed significantly in my relationship with AC on the day the showroom was inaugurated. To my shock, he introduced me to Professor Yashpal using my pet name, which is something that was only used by fellow students, classmates, seniors also. But how on earth did he get to know and when did he discover it? But nevertheless, to date, that's the name he uses. A few years later, AC became a faculty colleague. I no longer needed to ask Bala, his secretary, for an appointment. I'd just check if he was free and drop in. During those years, I came to truly appreciate AC the person, his innate graciousness, a quality in very short supply these days, quiet generosity, dignity under pressure, and unwavering integrity, and his deep loyalty to people who mattered to him. His steadfast commitment and advocacy of design and design education is very well known. What may be comparatively less known is that AC's recommendations can penetrate the thickest and tightest doors. The term network doesn't even begin to do justice to the breadth of AC's connections, half of which are somehow, by the way, also related to him. Traveling with AC when I was a faculty was an education. This was something that happened several times. We were going for two totally different things, but the ritual was the same. He would get into the arrival terminal in a great hurry and walk efficiently straight to the first PCO that caught his eye and make calls until such time as the baggage arrived. He'd then check on my schedules and quickly work out how and when I could accompany him to meet someone who he thought I should meet. And as a result of which, I've met some very, very interesting and wonderful people over the years. And so to this day, I never pass up an opportunity to tag with him. Ooh. After we moved to Bombay, it was, I don't want to call it Mumbai. It was primarily Vyas and AC who stayed in close touch, although AC would pop up in my inbox now and then with something he knew would interest me. To Vyas, AC was many things, but above all, he was like family. AC is one of those rare people AC is one of those rare people you can agree to disagree with and still rely on advice and camaraderie. I would often tease Vyas after one of their marathon calls, of course, which was punctuated by Vyas's loud guffaws. Have you two old fogies been at it again? Despairing over either the state of the nation or mushrooming design schools? I also know how much AC means to AC, Vyas means to AC, and Palomi just referred to it. Years ago, AC's painstakingly prepared original manuscript of the Jawaja book was mysteriously lost at the very place where it should have been more respected. But he did the book, and he took on the Herculean task of writing it all over again. Not just that, he persevered in seeing it through publication in 2 languages. To me, and I'm sure to all of you, there are many obvious but very rare human values embedded in this, which to me is quintessentially Ashoke Chatterjee. Since Vikas's passing in 2020, It's now AC and I who often share our concerns about the state of the nation and the state of design education, interspersed with updates on our grandchildren. Calls sometimes, extended dinners in Ahmedabad when possible, but mostly email, which AC uses like we lesser mortals use WhatsApp, replying instantly, usually well past midnight. And yes, after almost half a century, occasionally even I dare to advise him. So bless you, AC, for being there.
Thank you so much, Suranjana. On that warm, very emotional, and very motivating note, I would like to invite our next speaker. I hope most of you can recognize him. So I would like to invite Mahendra Patel, or as popularly he's known as MCP to the design community. He's a graphic designer, an educator, and he's most renowned and respected for his contribution to the world of typography. He received the Gutenberg Award in 2010 from the International Gutenberg Society for type design development on Indian scripts and map and signage design systems. So Mahendra bhai, please.
It's a great pleasure to greet Ashoke Chatterjee, AC. I was very young in 72 and was part of internal management committee where we didn't have any director. Me, Kumar, Vyas, and suddenly Chatterjee came from Delhi to have a little meeting with us. That was my first acquaintance, little peer, who is this young person coming from International Monetary Fund, how we would relate with him. That was the anxiety all of us were having. But he broke those inhibitions very soon. I remember he was a good friend of Ravi Mathai, and he took us for an early morning breakfast at Ravi Mathai's place in IIM. All young policy and planning board members were given a lesson of institution building, institution owning, and roles and responsibility as a senior members of the institute, what it can be. But a human level, yeah, over idli at Ravi Mathai's garden, and very soft soul that, guys, here you are taken and you are having a great responsibility along with Ashoke Chatterjee. And he didn't only become an executive director, he became a trainer, he became influencer, he became inspiration. He trained all of us in a small thing to how to manage office, how to manage time, how to counsel students, how to keep diaries. We were small kids, designer, long hair, lovely dresses, big beards. We feel we are great. But managing institute, managing people with a sense of responsibility and accountability. He didn't talk only on responsibility and accountability, he also talked about authority. He decentralized his authority to many of us. We were shivering to practice it. Many of were hesitant to practice it. But his mild way of getting us in with a pride, with a passion, was a great thing. I was one of the recipients of that. I really grew as a teacher, as a designer, as a human being, as an administrator, along with him, only because he trusted us. Not only trusted us, he facilitated us with lots of opportunity and challenges. I remember that little photo you see. I came back from Switzerland or Paris in those days, and he immediately said, "Do exhibition design." Yeah, and he gave me a big responsibility. 40 people, quite a lot. In those days, 36 lakhs rupees was a great thing in 79. You would have a sleepless nights. But the way he brought people who taught us sport planning, he put institute to do education planning, involve students. It is not professional project. It is professional activity at NID, which contributes to create a culture of learning while doing. And also not only learn, but create learning for students and institutions. Create learning for people who needs it. He had a plan with all of us, what are our interests, what are our inspiration, what are our capabilities, and then advise us what would be our horoscope today and in future. I was very much impressed by it. One little occasion I would like to share with you. We had a designer from Yale University, Binoy Sarkar, sir, if you remember. He gave a big problem and big time also. We were from Basel School and he was for Yale's American School. We were not matching well, so he was put in Delhi to help Papul Jaikar in handloom and handicrafts. I was made a chairman of education, or chairman of communication design. And I say we have such a good personality from Yale University, he should contribute in teaching at NID. So I wrote him, here is the dates, this is 3-week course, you have to take it. From Delhi, come Ahmedabad and take it. He said, who are you? I said, I'm chairman communication design. He said, I don't believe you. You have not appointed me. So what to do? I went to him and said, Mahendra, you have to deal with him. So I say, Mr. Chatterjee, director has told me, you have no choice, at least one course. Tell me whenever you can do. But I would like to have you. Resource like you, train in Yale University. If NID doesn't benefit and my students don't benefit, who would benefit? Why? You have no place in NID. I said that to him. I'm a little younger, a little timid person. Yeah. So he says, who is Mr. Chatterjee? My God. He says, who is Mr. Chatterjee? I don't believe him. He said, he told me to give this message to you. So he went to chairman, Papul Jaikar. He's a pet person of Papul Jaikar, probably. I don't know. I heard about it. In the end, it became an ego issue of function and personality. Believe me, Mr. Chatterjee supported me, stand by me, and in the end, he has to say, Mr. Sarkar, whether you stay or go away, but NID is the first preference you have to give. And he preferred to go away from us. Such a support he gives, he also trusts you. Not only trust you, support you and give necessary things. One more incident, I was in Delhi, I was taking admission tests. And one nice suited person came and said, Mr. Patel, why my daughter has not been selected for interview? I said, well, she has not performed in aptitude test well. She has below average. He said, no, you know who am I? You have to call her for interview. I said, 1 minute, I don't know you. He said, I'm from Ministry of Industry at a higher rank. I forgot the rank. I said, whoever are you, NID believes in impartiality. I can counsel you, I can stay back, I can talk to your daughter and you, but we cannot call her for interview. He said, I'll call executive director in Ahmedabad. You have to do it. Believe me, Mr. Chatterjee supported me and say, whatever he says, he has been given responsibility, I can't interfere into it. He is responsible and accountable, and I trust him what he says. Such a great support at that moment. There are many, many stories I don't want to tell, but let me tell you, he is the person who really believe in decentralizing authority and responsibility. Not only decentralize, but create system, trust system, and make system happen. He has created policy and planning board at the highest level, but faculty forum to share concern, including staff and administrative staff who know what is NID's 1-year plan, 5-year plan, what are the NID's financial problem, administrative problem. It is his problem, but he made all of us, took us in confidence. We feel whole institute is ours. The ownership, the belongingness of the institute is the greatest service he has nurtured in all of us, faculty, staff, and students. He is always available to any of us. Though he's very busy, but he's always available to students, staff, and faculty. Not only that, even their family members, he would welcome it. My wife and my children feel Ashoke Chatterjee is their person. Though we don't have much relation, but there's an impression, there's a trust feeling, like God. Yeah? We trust him, we believe in him. He used to be a God for us at NID. And I'm happy that God is my guru, elder brother, mentor, trainer, and teacher. My pranam to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. When we asked Mahendra Bhai to speak, he said, of course I will. AC has been my role model. Incident stories ki baat hui. 2 stories with Pradeep Choksi sir said I have to share. One story is when the Commonwealth exhibition was being designed at NIT, 1978, right? तो तब the design happened at NID, सब कुछ काम हो गया, it was to be displayed at London. Package हो गया, everything, the cartons reached Heathrow Airport, but it took about a month for clearance. तो Heathrow Airport में पड़ा था. The team is sitting at London waiting to dismantle everything and assemble there. तो वहाँ पे कोई 10 दिन पहले, before 10 to 12 days before the exhibition, उनको permission मिला कि हाँ अभी आप डिस्प्ले कर सकते हैं. खुद को सफाई करनी थी सबको बैठ के. सफाई कर रहे हैं, एवरीबडी इज क्लीनिंग, एंड देन इनॉग्रेशन के दिन दे गेट द न्यूज़ कि हाई कमिश्नर ऑफ इंडिया इन लंडन, ही इज़ कमिंग विथ at 5:30 PM. And Professor Choksi said, do mention that Ashoke Chatterjee, डायरेक्टर ऑफ NID, भी हमारे साथ झाड़ू लेके सफाई कर रहे थे. और कोई आया मेन गेट पे और वो मेन एंट्रेंस एरिया की सफाई कर रहे थे, झाड़ू लगा रहे थे. तो उन्होंने बोला कि देखिए अभी मत आइए, हमारा चालू नहीं हुआ है, हम अभी तक झाड़ू लगा रहे हैं, हाई कमिश्नर का वेट कर रहे हैं. इट टर्न आउट जो आए थे वो खुद ही हाई कमिश्नर थे विथ हिज फैमिली. तो सर को जस्ट झाड़ू साइड में रख के उनको वेलकम करना पड़ा. सो दैट वाज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन, बिकॉज दैट्स द थिंग दैट एवरीबडी कीप्स टॉकिंग अबाउट, इज द ह्यूमिलिटी. Another thing, Professor Choksi said, he was the head of the exhibition, so he had made a whole part of the exhibition was to deal with Madhubani paintings. तो उन्होंने पूरा line drawing सब कर लिया था, but अकेले बैठ के उनको he had to fill all the walls, you know, the fabrication जो किया है. And Ashoke Chatterjee also, despite being the director of NID, took up the brush and along with Pradeep Choksi sat and filled in the drawings. I'm sorry, couldn't share the photographs. We didn't have access to them, but important, very important assets to a personality that we get to hear. Our next speaker is Pradyumna. Pradyumna is an educator, designer. He is President-elect World Design Organization, Senior Advisor, Confederate of Industries India, and former director of the National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad. So this is a lovely photograph. Come, please, Pradyumna. The lovely photograph of Pradyumna's, when he becomes a director, there is a ceremony held at the NID lawns. This was which year?
2009. Raman Lalji, Purmalji, thank you very much. Dhanyavad aane ke liye. Yesterday I was in Pune and I met Ramni Narula. She was the managing director of ICICI Bank many years ago. And when I mentioned that I am from NID, she asked, "Oh, you know Mr. Ashoke Chatterjee?" I said, "Of course. Ashoke Chatterjee, everybody knows, and he was our ex-director." I have gone anywhere in the world, and if I mention NID, even today, they will ask Mr. Ashoke Chatterjee. That is the range of Mr. Chatterjee after stepping down from directorship in 1985. If NID comes anywhere in the world, it's Ashoke Chatterjee. And I think that is what the outreach, global outreach, Mr. Ashoke Chatterjee has created. And created, given the strength of Indian design globally. I would say that today, what strength of image NID has, what power NID holds globally, a lot of credit goes to Mr. Ashoke Chatterjee, the way he has really spread the position of Indian design to global scene. I will not repeat, but the person coming out from IMF to NID to Jawaja, and I am the second generation of designer, which I consider, because first generation is Mr. Ashoke Chatterjee, Mahendra, Patel, Vyas. Second generation I came, so that time they were retired, but they were most, AC was retired, but he was like a mentor. And I got opportunity to go with him in 1990 to Jawaja. And this was my introduction with his connectivity at the crafts level and empathy, which he has really shown, and passion which he has shown, really making design for social and sustainable development. The power of design to really bring dignity to masses, I think, or dignity to craftspeople, the way he has really taken forward as a mission, which I think it is remarkable, and we all feel very proud about. Very conscientious person, very much value-centric, having a large vision, giving something back to the society. And I think the previous people have talked about that how NID has come in a very systemic manner. When he was a director, all structures were created. As Mahendra Bhai mentioned, whether it is the policy planning, faculty forum, the discipline meetings and all, everything was in system. And everything was moving very systematically and taking it forward. And the other thing I would like to mention, that for transforming design education, AC has got Sir Misha Black Award in 1985. It's a very prestigious award. The award which was given in 1981 to Charles Eames. The award which was given in 1991 was the Guy Bonzipi. And the stalwarts before that, AC has got this Sir Shablek Award for transforming the design education at NID, and I think at individual level he has got this award. He has given it to NID. It was lying in director's room that time, but I think this is an honor. The design was not such a big thing in India those days, but it has really gone to that level where we can see that Sir Shablek Award, which was given to Mr. Chatterjee. The other major international milestone, which was 1979, UNIDO exit NID Ahmedabad Declaration. And there the vision you can see, design for social development. Design for social and sustainable development, and I would have no hesitation in saying that what world is talking about United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, Mr. Ashoke Chatterjee has brought it in 1979 in Ahmedabad Declaration. Lots of things which are matching. And that was the foresight that where design is going and how really design has to go. World is talking about the sustainability and social development, what he has talked about. I'm privileged when I was stepping down in 2019, we celebrated 40 years of Ahmedabad Declaration, and we got Don Norman that time. And Don Norman came in 2019, 40 years of celebration of Ahmedabad Declaration. And you know what? After getting influence of Ahmedabad Declaration, he started Norman Foundation in USA, designed for social development, and which he is taking forward, which is really having such a strong influence. So the other major thing which Geeta Ram is here from Craft Council of India. We have worked together actually many times. The AC and Geeta Ram and all are talking about that how we can take it forward. But one major thing with IIM Ahmedabad which was done was the rural university. And I would request the young generation to read that book which was written by Shilu Mathai, Mr. Mathai, Ravi Mathai, which was written. It's an amazing book. After that, this book is come and we must go through the way it has really taken forward. The rural university, again, a very visionary project which has come for. Today, when one is talking about systems thinking, one is talking about inclusivity, one is talking about sustainability, all these things were done that time. And particularly for Jawaja, I would like to remember today, and we are really missing that MP Ranjan is not there and Neelam is not there, who are very much part of this whole movement which they had done. And I wish they were there to witness the and talk about what they have contributed with Mr. Chatterjee. Mr. Chatterjee is still AC, is still very, very passionate about Jawaja. And you can see our persons are coming from there. Puran Malji is here. And I think the passion in which the support system which has been given is incredible, that the social upliftment and economic upliftment, and I have witnessed when we are talking about that the heated discussions are happening in the boardroom where the various issues of Jawaja, the Jawaja crafts community, the weavers and leather communities are discussing that what should be done, and that kind of confidence the community has got with continuous support from AC and also from IIM, which was coming up. And you can see the beautiful designs which have come up. Helena was behind the textile activities, was there, and I think those designs, sometimes you feel that they are still selling after 40 years. Such a beautiful design process which was developed by that. AC, you are our role model. I think we feel very, very proud that we are associated with you. And actually, you have really raised our stature. You have raised our stature as a designer. People have started recognizing us as some force. And if they consider some force, I think you have really given that foundation to National Institute of Design, and with your networking and with your prompt, what Suranjana has mentioned, communication style which always with your typewriter in the beginning, and then now with no, first the typewriter and afterwards emailing with the computer, and then always he used to be worried about, but it is not working properly. And those struggles were there, but the communication channels were very, very strong. The another joy, our connecting point was Kilkenny Design. Actually, the Kilkenny Design Center, AC had gone there in 1978. Exit Congress was there. And Mary Mullen who was a founding person of Kilkenny Design, and now, by the way, she's the chairman of Misha Blake Award, the committee. And 78, and now we are talking 2025, this still connectivity is there. Because of him, I'm connected with Mary Mullen, and we are communicating. So that kind of relationship is not, but it's for decades of relationship. And when you go to Santa Fe and talking about somebody, again, Mr. Chatterjee is coming up and talking about Santa Fe, the fair which is happening. You know Mr. Ashoke Chatterjee, of course. And this is what I think the person has contributed to the Indian design. Whatever the Indian design community, Association of Designers of India, I think we owe a lot to AC. For his what you call hard work, which just now you talked about with the clearing up, taking hands. I mean, it's a mission which he has taken in this country to take forward the design, and where only 2 design schools were there with a very high quality, but design has become the buzzword in India, and I think there are 1,500 design schools are there. We don't know where we are heading, but we have to really look into and bring back the quality of design education. So AC, we really owe a lot. What we have achieved, it is because of you, and wherever we are, it is somewhere your role is there. Thank you so much, and we really feel privileged that we are with you, and we would like to have many more years with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pradyumna. That was really everything he said is what most of us feel. I'm sorry the pointer wasn't working, but these were the information which Pradyumna, Mahendra and Suranjana are talking of. So the formative years of NID. This is when Charles Eames comes back and he's given this grand welcome. These are all from Ranjan's blog. Craft and sustainability, that's the third part of today's program, and Jawaja. So without saying anything, I would like to invite Ramlal ji and Pranbal ji, please आइए और जवाजा के बारे में अशोक चैटर्जी जी के साथ आपका क्या रिलेशन है, कितना क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन है, हमें आपको बताना है. आइए बताइए.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम रामलाल है और हम जवाजा के अंदर दरियों का काम करते हैं. और अशोक चटर्जी साहब ने 1975 और 76 के अंदर आर्टिजन्स अलायंस जवाजा बनाई, और रवि जी मताई साहब और अशोक चटर्जी साहब ने मिलके ये आर्टिजन्स अलायंस जवाजा नाम रखा. तो जब से हम यानी उस टाइम हम तो छोटे छोटे थे, हमारे से बड़े बुजुर्ग लोग थे, उन्होंने ये डिज़ाइन सीखी थी. पहले हम कपड़े बनाने का काम करते जो गांव ग्रामीण में पहनते थे वो. उसके बाद में उन्होंने बोला कि भाई आप ये डिज़ाइन बनाइए. फिर कृष्णा बहन आते थे, हेलना बहन आते, अशोक चटर्जी साहब भी आते थे. तो उन्होंने डिज़ाइन सीखी थी, और उस हिसाब से हमने जैसे जैसे हमारे डिज़ाइन की ज़रूरत होती है हम NID को बताते हैं कि भाई हमें नई डिज़ाइन की ज़रूरत होती है, तो सर भेजते भी है और अभी भी आ रहे हैं. हम NID और IM का बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं.
मेरा नाम पूर्णमल है और मैं जवाजा लेदर से हूँ. और आज साहब की वजह से हम इस जगह पे पहुँचे हैं. और चमड़ा का काम हमारा पुरकर से करते आ रहे, और हम पहले गांव का काम ही करते थे। फिर साहब ने आके ये काम हमारे को सिखाया बेकवर्ड एरिया देख के, और आप ये काम करोगे तो आपको अच्छा फ़ायदा मिलेंगे। तो साहब ये काम करने से हमारा घर परिवार अच्छा चल रहा है। और साहब की जब भी हमारी संस्था के बारे में समस्या आई तो साहब ने रिक्वेस्ट की और साहब हमारी सब समस्या को हल करी। हमारी ज़मीन का मसला भी था तो वो लीज पे थी, वो हमारे से लीज चूक नहीं पाई, तो साहब ने वो लीज भी हमारी मुक्त करवाई। और हमारी जो भी समस्या आई, जो मशीनों की ज़रूरत थी वो भी साहब ने दिलवाई। और आज भी हमारे लिए साहब भगवान के बराबर है। और एनआईडी और आईएम का बहुत हमारा सहयोग है और इनकी वजह से ही आज हम इस स्तर पे पहुँचे हैं साहब। नमस्कार।
So the Jawaja project continues, and not only through NID and IM, but independently also, I believe. This is a comment of gratitude from the 2016 batch of lifestyle accessory design who worked with Professor Chatterjee. The Jawaja book written by Professor Chatterjee is available for sale at NIDAS, right, Sucharita? Yeah. Yeah, so please feel free to, not feel free, please do buy it because the story there is fantastic and Paulumi Shah has been the designer for it and she's done amazing work. These are Professor Chatterjee's, we forced him to pose and give us photographs. I'll be playing a video by Judy. I hope, can you hear?
Hi, I'm Judy Frater, and I'm very happy to have the opportunity to talk about Ashoke Chatterjee, AC as he's fondly known. I don't even remember when I met him. He has been so long associated with the craft community and cultural heritage of India. I know AC especially for his wisdom and his voice to focus attention on artisans and their fragile ecosystem. I think what impresses me, one of the many things that impresses me about AC is always his solid research and attention to facts. He will always speak knowledgeably as well as eloquently, and that goes a very long way. I would say he's the voice of reason for India's rich cultural heritage. For me, above all, I appreciate AC's humility and his willingness to engage with small communities. And I asked him to be a trustee at Kalaraksha, our incipient village social enterprise, and he was patient and professional and guided us always on good governance. And he acted as a bridge to higher level contacts that enabled the trust to grow with integrity. When I wanted to realize my Ashoka Fellowship, he was a key guide and critical supporter and really contributed invaluably to establishing Kalaraksha Vidyalaya, the first institute of design education for artisans. And also after 2 years, he provided an insightful initial evaluation, which I still refer to often. When it was time to reinvent the program as Somaya Kalavidya, AC wisely and staunchly supported me and helped with a navigation that ensured that artisan graduates and future students, the community of artisan designers, was nurtured and strengthened. Today, AC continues to guide institutions and artisan communities genuinely, always making sure that the greater good is in view. He's solid gold, and I honestly can't think of a more deserving recipient of appreciation from the Design Association of Designers Ahmedabad in their Design Moments series. Thank you.
Ashoke Chatterjee is someone I've known since my early 20s. In those days, he was simply the lanky, thin, erudite friend of my elder cousin Hassan, whom we'd known since their young bachelor days in Kolkata. There was no beard then, though I do seem to remember long sideburns. I started to get to know him myself when Daska started, and I began traveling to Kutch and Banaskantha to visit our new projects. In those days, one used to catch the overnight sleeper bus from Ahmedabad, and Ashok very kindly offered to put me up for the day in the house he occupied on the NID campus as director. We would chat about craft and design and the state of the world, and though I was slightly in awe of him still, I valued his sensitive insights and out of the box practicality. I loved the fact that he would never let anyone get away with woolly sentimentality or muddled, misguided thinking. For him, I think I was always, and probably still am, Hassan's little cousin, and he was quite surprised when others began to take Daskar and me seriously. Joking aside, he has always been a wonderful and supportive person to talk to and to throw ideas at to see if he thinks they have value. I'm proud to count him one of my most inspiring friends and a fellow craft crusader and mentor, as well as co member for many years on the Khamir Advisory Council in Kutch. He combines passion and vision with a precise, organized, and logical mind. These, as well as his patience and management skills, make him an invaluable asset in any project or discussion related to culture, education, administration, craft, and the development sector. His career spans all these, and the breadth of his knowledge and reading encompasses history, politics, literature, and the arts, both as a reader and a writer. Like me, Ashok has been troubled by the churlish way successive Indian governments have treated the craft sector over the decades, not realizing what a treasure we have inherited and the livelihoods that could be enhanced and enriched by investing in them instead of being dismissed as irrelevant relics of our past. It is our fortune that after leaving NID, Ashok made crafts and craftspeople his raison d'etre and makes it his priority to write and speak about them. His emphasis on hard facts and statistics and creating a proper database which could act as a basis for advocacy and proper planning for the sector has given us all a direction. Thank you so much for this, Ashok, as well as the dry humor that has leavened and added spice to our sometimes gloom filled discussions.
Thank you. We come to the next segment, which is Professor Chatterjee comes to NID, comes as a director in 1975, stays for the next 10 years as director, and then he goes on to teach at NID, and he makes Ahmedabad his home. And his involvement in Ahmedabad is in multiple sectors. And we've been able to focus only on Ashoke Chatterjee's involvement with design education, crafts, and the city in terms of heritage, because he still works. His work is of so much length and breadth that we couldn't cope up. We got exhausted trying to, figure out what all he is doing and not doing. This is a very important message from Keshav.
You know, like my father is from very pioneer institute. He's always associated with all big institutes. Let's not name them, and he's always But each person can be stay in a 5-star hotel or can be go to the downtown. As you know, Prabhat worked with children, people with physically mentally challenged, and because being a trustee, he has to come to the center community and meet there. And community are running nose children or people coming them in, hug them, and it's so down to earth. It's totally different. And it's not people do sometimes because in camera, but he's absolutely so different with the children. He's my God, he go to a very different scale. And how once he come back and he remember everything step by step, and he said his experience what happened to the community visit. So we really learn a lot when he come to community, and he observes very sharply things. But all these things is very, very down to earth person. And what a powerhouse he is actually. He is literally powerhouse. He doesn't get, we go out, everybody go out, and then we come back. You know, Alisa she's another person which want to, oh, Dadu, I want to need. Immediately we go out and come back, we're tired, but Alisa said, Dadu, I want this. Immediately he come out, okay, let's go. He doesn't get tired. He's a powerhouse. Yeah.
So his involvement with Prabhat Education Foundation is well known. It's an NGO that works in educating disabled children in various parts of Ahmedabad. We requested both the Kasturbai Lalbhai Museum and the LD Museum, because he's associated with them and he's really loves those collections, and if they could share some images. So Kasturbai Lalbhai Museum has had readily sent us some images to share. Jayashri Ben regrets that she could not come to the event because she's not well. But from LD Museum, we are very honored to have Radhika Lalbhai ma'am here with us. And she has taken out time to be here. The team of both Kasturbai Lalbhai Museum, when I was telling them about the event and giving the invitation, they said, you don't need to invite us. We are part of his extended family. हमको बस बता दो time और venue, हम आ जाएंगे. And I did see some of the staff here. Next, I would like to invite Kartikeya Sarabhai. He's been involved with Ashoke Chatterjee through CE and the Sabarmati Ashram and other projects over many decades. So please.
It's a room which is filled with so many people, and I can almost sort of feel the vibrations which must be going on in everyone's mind. Because I think just like few of us who are speaking, I think everyone has such fond and precious moments with Ashok, and we really value them. And it's such a pleasure, Ashok, that whenever we are stuck and we just say, let's phone AC, and he's available. If he's not, then he will be available soon. And I say, Ashok, can we meet this week? And I come over, he will say yes. Even this week when he's celebrating his birthday, he said, I'll try and come, so it's one of those. I think I must have, Ashok and I were discussing when would we have first met. It must have been in, I think, 79, when Buckminster Fuller had come to the Nehru Foundation. M.S. Swaminathan was there, and there was a whole sort of think tank looking at the future. My mother used to often have discussions, and I remember Ashok being very much part of that, of discussing future, discussing Ahmedabad, being sort of so deeply involved in everything, and with Ravi Mathai and with the Diwan Illich talk, which was there. There's just so many memories which go out. But as you were saying, in institutional building, I think he acts like a moral compass. When we deal with authorities, when we deal with governments, it's often very difficult, and it's very easy to compromise. It's very easy to let go something or to come to something. And Ashok will be the first to point out that, look, this has to be there. And his voice is standing out. We had brought out this book called Parampara, which we did, and we've written it's a wonderful piece which is written in the beginning of it. But it was interesting that because it was going to be launched by the Prime Minister in Paris in 2015 for the Climate Change Summit, and I sent it because you have to get it approval. And as you would expect, in a huge book, the only comment which they had objection to was something Ashok wrote. So there was nothing else. They said, do you have to keep Ashoke Chatterjee's? I said, yes, we absolutely have to keep that comment. Then they said, can you please discuss with him. I said, I'm not going to take out the comment. I don't mind requesting Ashok that can be modified so it doesn't look quite so harsh, which Ashok readily said, okay, I'll agree to edit it a bit, which he did. And he said the same things, but in a language which didn't quite get them so much. We have our own, as you know, design studio, and we had rebel NID students done being there, and who refused to take the degree and fight. But Ashok had a way of dealing with these are NID students who've come and worked with us, but how you work with them, giving each one space, and at the same time being very, very clear. Some things do get him to a point of irritation. One of the typical one is PowerPoints. What size font do you use? And he will not allow. There is an SOP which is known as the Ashoke Chatterjee thing, which says that you will not use less than this font and you will not do this. But there is a way in which you can even get the calm Ashok to get irritated. We worked in many things together. Khamir is another one. Laila mentioned it. And these are all institutional building activities which continue to be institutional building activities. The Sabarmati Ashram is a very important thing because it's going through a phase where the larger Gandhian community is very suspicious. Have you guys sold out? Are you sticking up to the values? And in that process, we had thought and felt that we must do what we call the concept note. So we wrote this, and Ashok wrote really that first line, which is the most critical line, that you come to the ashram not to actually see an exhibit, not even to see Hriday Kunj. People come there because in that space, there is some vibration they get. It's hard to describe, the tranquility, the starkness, and how do you plan for that? What do you do? To some extent, how do you not destroy it? And this has been our attempt. Ravindra Basada is here. Ravindra Basada is here. He is also working with us and several other people here. But that book which came out would not be allowed to be released. And to complete anger of Ashok, he said, look, it has to go out. And I think every meeting, he would not let anyone forget that this book is an important document. People must understand what is the spirit, what is the Gandhi Ashram, what is the Sabarmati thing, how do you write, how do you interpret it? And through that very insistence, I think we finally got an okay, Ashok, that we can in fact release it and share it. But it was his feeling that these documents are not just meant to be just kept there. His work on water and development, not much talked about today, and actually there's probably so many things to say, but that was a very important part of what he was doing, and the communication part of water. And for us who work in that sector, rural sector, it's extremely important. But I wanted to say that what Jawaja in some ways represents is, of course, a unique project, but it's one of those projects where two institutions really could work together for something. Now, Prof will say that, but there's such great institutions in Ahmedabad, so many wonderful institutions, but you don't find too many Jawajas in the sense of people being able to work together for a common cause. Here is the IIM and NID. Today, if I say, let NID and IIM do something together, it will be a difficult thing. And it comes out of that underlying passion for development. It is, I might do it through design, someone else does it from management, we do our bit through environmental education, someone does it through, SEP does it through architecture. All these different institutions are ultimately working on something, but it is something which we must think of that what is the lesson of Jawaja in inter-institutional working together, because that is something which we need to see more of and be able to facilitate. So just to say that it's been such a pleasure, and I don't look back on what I've done with Ashok. I'm just looking at what we have to do together, including what I have to do next week with Ashok, and what I have to do the next month and the months afterwards, because he's been, what shall I say, someone who's always been there, and Gujarati ma hoof kaise, what we get a certain warmth of someone who is there, but reminding us especially, we just did a project together, a book on the lessons from sustainability lessons from the craft tradition, and all those things we are trying to put into the textbooks which we are writing now. We are trying to bring these concepts in that subtle way back into it, but really seeing that the wonder of our craft sectors, the skill, the dignity they deserve, the respect, how do we give our next generation? And that's really what we are working together on, because we work with children, we work with textbook, and just now very closely in NCRT and others. And I'm hoping and looking forward to many, many years of really working very closely, and like many of us here, get that. But as I said, when you go to the ashram, you're looking at that vibration and that sense which we feel in this room today of love for him and with him, I think is what is really touching tonight. So thank you for organizing this for me and everyone else. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, Professor Chatterjee, sorry for the size of the font. We'll next time consult you before doing anything. So we come to the, how his involvement with Ahmedabad still continues in different sectors. Whenever we call him, invite him for something, Professor Chatterjee always agrees. And we really, as everyone is saying, we look up to him for guidance and mentorship. And as Shimul has already mentioned, he was one of our speakers. And I remember him telling that for Jawaja, he said when Jawaja Project came to NID and IIM, the challenge was to use craft to provide food for people twice a day who were not getting to eat once in 2 days. So that's the impact of, like Kartikeya sir said, the impact of a project like Jawaja. We come to the interesting segment now. This is a complete surprise for you, sir. And these are some of our very precious moments with the Chatterjee family, which we wanted to share with all of you, interesting anecdotes. And Malika Sarabhai, she also said that Ashok ji is a very close person, close to our heart. So it's not just the professional associations, but he becomes family for everyone. And this is his son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren speaking about him.
मैं शादी के बाद अहमदाबाद आई तो मेरे लिए यहाँ पे सब कुछ नया था। यहाँ पे मैं खाली केशव और पापा को ही पहचानती थी। तो केशव वो टाइम में थोड़ा बिजी भी थे, तो पापा कभी भी बाहर जाते थे एनजीओ में कहीं भी, तो मुझे भी सिखाने के लिए साथ में लेके जाते थे। और वो बहुत ज़्यादा केयरिंग भी है, घर में सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है वो सब ध्यान रखते हैं। और मेरे बच्चे के साथ भी वो बहुत व्यस्त रहते हैं, उनको स्टोरी बोलते थे, छोटे थे और साथ में गेम खेलते थे। और बच्चे के लिए कभी भी वो थकते नहीं है, कुछ भी करने के लिए तैयार है। और वो बहुत ऑर्गेनाइज भी बहुत है, और वो चाहते हैं कि कम से कम दिन में एक मील सब फैमिली साथ में बैठ के खाए। और उनको खाने में ज़्यादा फंसी तो नहीं है, लेकिन उनको थोड़ा ज़्यादा वैरायटी पसंद है। और उनको खाने में ज़्यादा साउथ इंडियन खाना पसंद है। और वो कम से कम महीना में एक बार वो प्लानिंग करते हैं, पूरा फैमिली साथ में बैठ के प्लानिंग करते हैं, अभी तक क्या हो रहा है, अब आगे क्या करना है, ये सब प्लानिंग करते हैं। और वो चाहते हैं कि कम से कम साल में एक बार पूरा फैमिली साथ में कहीं वैकेशन में जाए, और बस घर में ऐसा इन्वायरमेंट क्रिएट करके रखा।
So this tree in the center that has a story. ये NID में Keshav, correct me if I'm wrong. This was an NID in the outside the director's quarter, right? Where they were living, the entrance, right? So this tree, Keshav took a branch from it, a cutting from it, and it's now in their house. It's the third generation, right, of the tree. Acha, so that's the first generation. So NID continues in the Chatterjee house, and yeah, that's a candid moment unknown to Keshav. We'll send you all the photographs and the videos.
Actually, one very interesting thing happened. I remember he has a habit of, correcting, like most father does, like, right? You correcting me. So this is what to do. Look at what happened. You're not, because he's a Mr. Perfect. He's very organized. Unfortunately, what he organized sometimes is hodgepodge, and that he doesn't realize. One day, it happened that we were traveling, and we were in Delhi going there, and he lost his one briefcase. I thought, thank God. I mean, I know if we lost, we were, and it's not happy thing, but I was very happy because he lost. Now he will not going to correct me. Unfortunately, see, if you how things happen, if you don't organize properly, this can be dangerous thing happen. I think, hello, you are lost, so you should be saying that, but he started correcting. So learn from that mistake, and how I made a mistake, so you learn from that also. I thought, okay, he has a fundamental right to correct me every time. So these are things happen, but he is really genuinely very, very perfect. I think everybody knows he's a designer, a thinker, he's a leader maker, and he makes more than that.
So what one of my uncles told me was that before Kabir and I were born, everybody was terrified of Dadu. Like, he was the classic strict boss that everybody fears. But obviously Kabir and I were completely baffled when they told us that, because we've never seen Dadu like that. But apparently after Kabir and I were born, Dadu became a complete softie, and he is how he is now.
Happy birthday, Dadu. I'm sure all of us here have our own memories associated with Dadu. Like for Alisa and I, it's always going to be the bedtime stories that we used to have, where we'd ask for one more story and Dadu would just tell us to get a good night's sleep. I remember that later, when I had turned into a teenager, it was sort of like the other way around, where I had turned into a storyteller and Dadu was the listener. This is because I used to summarize every single episode of an anime or a TV show that I was watching at the time. I remember that I often used to test Dadu by asking him questions in the middle of the story, like what's that character's name, which side is he or she fighting for, and where did I leave off the plot in the previous episode. To this day, I still don't understand how Dadu claims that he was never able to remember the answer to any of those questions. Yet, when Alisa randomly tells me that she is craving cranberry juice, or if I just mention the fact that I haven't had donuts in a very long time, the next day, Alisa will find her cranberry juice in the fridge and I'll find my donuts there too. Even though we've forgotten ourselves, Dadu always remembers. Even when it comes to someone's birthday, Dadu is the first person to take charge and to ensure that all the cards are ready, that they're signed, that the perfect get together is planned, and that the perfect gift is there. Thank you, Dadu. Thank you for being the first one to notice. Thank you for being the first one to remember. And thank you for being the first person to care. All of us love you, Dadu. Happy 90th birthday.
Even I want a Dadu like that now. I think we all do. Kabir sent this video from his internship in Bagru. Luckily, he's here now with us to celebrate. Some birthday wishes from people who would have wanted to be here but are not able to. They're different parts of the world. So Mukesh Patel, Senior Designer, Design Education Consultant, Professor Emeritus, Arizona State University, former Dean, ISDI Parsons, sent this personal note. I'm just reading out one paragraph. As someone who had the honor of working under your leadership at the National Institute of Design, I carry with me a profound sense of gratitude for your vision and unwavering commitment to design as a transformative force. You nurtured a generation of designers not just through instruction but through example. Calm, thoughtful, and always rooted in values that upheld the dignity of both people and practice. So there are many people across the world who would have really wanted to be here, but they could not. This is from Nandita.
Hi, dear Ashok. All the happiness, all the best for your 90th birthday. Your body may be 90, but I've worked with you at many levels. Your mind is still fresh, alert, and has a lot to give us. Thank you for all your contributions, for your brain waves, for your smart interjections. You are special, and please remain that way. All the happiness once again.
Hello, this is Abhay Mangaldas. This is to wish Ashoke Chatterjee all the very best. I didn't realize he was going to turn 90. His contribution to design and craft and building of NID is well known to all. I didn't realize that he was 90 years old. I always used to call him Ashok. Now I should call him Ashok Bhai. Ashok Bhai, all good wishes. Thank you.
This presentation has been made possible thanks to the blog of Ranjan. MP Ranjan, it's going to be a decade of his absence in this month itself. And the photographs have been from his blog, which thanks to Aparna is still operational. We would, on behalf of ADI Ahmedabad, request Professor Chatterjee to kindly come on stage. The backdrop will be this. The sketch is by Vasavi Parekh, ADI Shimul, Kathan, Vasavi. Please, sir, come. Digvijay. There's a small token that we would like to present you with, sir, in the center, with at the backdrop. Yeah, sorry. Come on. Sir, don't go. Jawaja, आप लोग भी कुछ गिफ्ट लाए हैं. Professor Anil Sinha also said. Would you like a chair? I think. Professor Anil Sinha is heading GLS Design Institute now, a very close friend of NIT. He's written a book. I believe it's a book. आइए. हाँ, इनका हो जाए फिर. नहीं, मैं माइक पे वहाँ पे So Mahendra bhai also has a gift for you. So his birthday is actually next week. This is a pre-birthday bash. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now you can say. Kathan?
You have the slide. No, it's not there.
You start speaking.
So, thank you, sir, for contributing to the design community. I think the last presents were not for his birthday, but it was for the journey which he has taken us all through these years. So it's like 2.5 months where Polomi is calling us all every 5 days, and she's like, "Acha kaise karenge? Acha kaise karenge?" So yeah, Polomi, we are here, and it went out very well. We all managed to gather out a room full of designers, and yeah, it's wonderful seeing this entire gathering and entire journey of several members talking about design, sharing their design moments, and that's wonderful for us. Vasvi, thanks for the wonderful work, and she has really worked a lot of time in putting the entire presentation together. Neha Singh, who had done the initial promotional material, and yeah, the core team as well as few members, Shimul. So Shimul, Digvijay, Jemin, Rana, all of us, we would meet every weekend or every 15 days in these past 3 months, and we would gather at a cafe and we would just gather up ki kaise karenge and whom to contact and how to write and how to gather up the entire presentation. So yeah, thanks the entire team of ADI Ahmedabad. Harshdeep, Jemin, and Manini, as well as Bhargav, who have been running around. A special thanks to Ahmedabad Management Association to initiate this entire journey with us of design moments. And I think it's very, very important collaboration which has been made, where we are trying to share the journey of Ahmedabad design and Ahmedabad designers and to the young generation. So this was one of our thoughts, that how can we share the knowledge of design gurus with Ahmedabad as well as the world ahead. So Umesh Dikshit ji, Hemani Agrawal, Sonia Ghosh, and the photography team, as well as the entire management and catering team. So we had a lot of support from NID also in the entire journey. So thank you to NID as well as the team at NID. And a lot of photographs were shared by different members. So thank you to all the members sharing the photographs. And the entire family and sir and the entire design community. So thank you for being with us in this journey. Thank you. Thank you all for